My topic is genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs. GMOs are organisms that have been altered in a way that does not occur naturally in nature. They are done through a process called gene mutilation, which is a permanent alteration in the DNA sequence that makes up a gene. My proposition is that GMOs provide a number of benefits. These benefits include helping countries that are less developed, improving crops, and being beneficial to the environment. Crops that are made with GMOs are widely used in the United States. A lot of the foods that Americans already eat contain GMOs. According to Time magazine, more than 90% of all soybean, cotton, and corn acreage contain them. However, there is a lot of controversy over this issue in other parts of the world because opponents of it believe that GMOs are a risk to society. However, the benefits that I will explain later outweigh the risk. Since 1994, the United States have been using GMOs, and no long-term negative effects on health have been scientifically proven. So one reason that GMOs are beneficial is that they help countries that are underdeveloped. With GMOs, organisms can be made with needed elements. The World Health Organization noted that around 250 million preschool children have vitamin A deficiency, which results in blindness. GMOs can be made with added elements such as vitamin C and protein. Noted by Dr. Stephen Bush, more food can be made with GMOs for less money. Studies done by the United States Census show that the population will be up to 9 billion by 2050, which is overpopulation. Overpopulation means that more resources will be needed, and the natural methods that we use to make food now won't sustain us. But with GMOs, since more can be made for less, more food could be widely distributed around the world. Because of that, GMOs have large potential to alleviate hunger in other parts of the world. Dr. Craig Gunderson, a University of Illinois professor who is a part of the Department of Agriculture, states that about 1 in 8 people across the world do not have enough food to eat. The characteristics of GMOs that I mentioned earlier can help solve this problem. Another reason that GMOs are beneficial is that they are a logical step to crop improvement. They improve soil through conservation tilling, which is a method that leaves the residue of the previous year's crops for cultivation. This method benefits the soil and is better agriculture. GMOs also increase the yield, which produces more crops, which allows more food to be made. They are also drought tolerant, which means that they won't dry up because of a lack of water, and that decreases the need for water, which is a large problem across the world, and it's another way that betters the soil. In addition, they are a more efficient use of fertilizer. This results in the ability to produce more drugs and chemicals that can make medicine. My last point is that GMOs are a huge benefit to the environment. They decrease the amount of toxic runoff from plants, and this happens because they decrease the need for pesticides. Pesticides are sprayed onto plants to help preserve them, but GMOs are not needed. And the reason that they decrease toxic runoff is because the pesticide runs into the soil, which runs into nearby water supply, which increases water pollution. And so essentially GMOs can reduce the water pollution. As mentioned earlier, GMOs do not need pesticide, and pesticides have been sprayed irresponsibly by farmers, and the results of pesticides can result in neurological damages to people, especially children who are more susceptible. GMOs are also resistant to global changes. These global changes include climate change, which has occurred because of global warming. Natural methods are susceptible to global warming and climate change because they won't grow under certain circumstances, and GMOs are resistant to this. They are also resistant to natural disasters because even if the crops are destroyed, they will be replanted and built up again a lot easier than if it was a natural method where they have to start all over. In summation, genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, are beneficial to society.
All right, the proposition is fine. The contents is previewed pretty well, although I do think that you need to have declarative statements for those points, and it really feels more like you've just kind of given us a topic area instead of an inference that you're drawing on those individual points. Internal structure, you signpost those points reasonably well. I think your transitions could be a little bit smoother occasionally. There's a lot of conclusionary statement on each of the points about what GMOs are capable of doing, and not as much demonstration of that through the evidence as you need to have. And I think that that's the biggest problem here. I get lots of claims about, oh, we're going to have the vitamin content, for instance, on the first point, or the yield and drought resistance on the second point, or the issues about the cycle of planting, or the neurological diseases that or dangers that are going to be minimized because we're using fewer pesticides. And I don't really get much evidence on those things. They're just predicated on the theory behind how GMOs are supposed to work. And I'm looking for, well, where's the proof that this is in fact what's happening? You made the argument at one point that says there's not any evidence. We've been using these since 1994. There's not any evidence that indicates that they're particularly harmful. And I'm going, well, where's the evidence that they are particularly beneficial? Have we cured all of these problems in other parts of the world that exist because of vitamin deficiency? Have we made a dent anywhere? That's where I think we need to have some illustrations on this particular point. It's theoretical in nature here. Have costs been decreased? Have yields improved? I know that they're supposed to do those kinds of things, but again, where's the documentation that it has done those kinds of things? I think that that's sort of missing. You're taking a presupposition that it does all this stuff, and I think that's one of the criticisms, is that there's not much information that shows that it does these particular things. If there is, then I'm not sure how much controversy there is on these particular points. The high levels of GMOs that are found in soy and cotton and other products, that's fine. I think that's good. But if we've got it in those particular kinds of products, then where's the demonstration of those benefits that you're talking about? Do we have less soil erosion because of the way we produce soy now because of GMOs? Is the cotton less problematic to blight or problems because the GMOs are designed to resist insects and bugs and that sort of thing? I should see some data on that. Again, we're just back to the theory. So you explained the theory pretty well. You need to document it a little bit better. All right, thank you. And I can tell everybody's